I would like for the panelists to reflect on any activities that they have been involved in that would involve funding that has come from the business community, so that it will inspire the Sierra Leoneans and others who want to change the state of ignorance as it relates to health to find the necessary funds to do so. Anyone?
Oh, you started back with me again?
Yes.
Two ways I think that you get rid of, to go into this, how do you get rid of that fear, Terry? I think the way that you get fear and ignorance, and then I'll go back and maybe to the funding question. I wish we had covered these questions before we got here.
This was a part of the think tank.
Oh, well, you got us thinking. And in the tank. But one of the ways I think of getting rid of fear, when you have fear, one is to know. When somebody tells me, I'm afraid of the dark, they're not afraid of the dark. They're afraid of what they think is in the dark because they don't know what's in the dark. No one's afraid of heights. You're afraid of falling. Who's afraid of flying? You're not afraid of flying. You don't know if the plane's going to fail or not. So to get rid of fear, you must know something. But we can't know everything. So the other way to get rid of fear is to have faith that it will be all right. And how strong one's faith is. If I can have faith that if I can trust other people and understand other people, then I can remove my ignorance. My fear is lessened. We can communicate and we can address the concern. The issue, when you ask me about multicultural, multinational agencies that are making money, those that were in South Africa, those that were in Sierra Leone and other places, I'm probably the wrong person to ask because, see, I'm an old boycotter. I'm one that just goes in and shakes it by the collar. Joe Beasley and I, we go in and direct and face direct action. For example, right now, it's a travesty, even in America, that $100 billion came into Georgia and for banks to go through reparations and these kinds of things in this country, and only 8 million out of 100 billion went into minority banks. So we're in the process now of challenging those banks to put a certain amount of percentage in the bank so that loans can be made to those that do not have. So I think when you talk about the international, you get so much into the political unrealities of life and where people's own particular prejudices come. And what I'm finding more and more when it comes to really challenging multinational, people don't do what we have to do. You've got to be willing to sacrifice and take risk. And now people are afraid to sacrifice a lot and take risk. So it's a matter of going in, saying to companies, this is what it is. And then also in business, one thing that runs business, they want the bottom line. They need their money. So what is it that I can get to you, that you can get to me? How do we work together on something? So they will move if they can find out, what is it that if we do this for you, what will you do for us because we've got shareholders? We used to think that people would move out of the goodness of their heart and out of the compelling forces inside of it. I think now if we're to make those differences, those companies that in Colorado are making so much money out of there, we've got to demand certain things. And Joe and I would tell you, when we were going into South Africa before, when we were trying to free Nelson Mandela, we had to just stay the course and get voting in there. So I think, Nell, in order to do that, there has to be some people willing to take some risks, willing to step up to the plate, willing to sacrifice. Because, as Frederick Douglass says, if there's no suffering, there's really no gain. And so we got to go through the suffering period once again to state our case and then prove to the businesses that there is something for them to make a profit in this. But they can't make the profit on the backs of people, but they can make a profit when they invest in people and a country.
Thank you.
I think that we have to define what does it mean a for-profit organization and a non-profit organization. What is the real meaning of profit? We all live in only one world. And this selfishness of the word profit that is affecting one person is also affecting the whole system that is around us. So the issue of what is profit, if we think of the word profit as benefit, if we take that from the humanistic point of view, so it will be a benefit for the society, for the global world, and not necessarily for one pocket. Because that one pocket is going to die alone and lonely, and we have only one world to take care of. So I remember two things. You asked us to think of two different things, and thanks God I'm the second one, so I have time to think. Two very practical things that happened to me in the last now 6 years. 6 years ago, my youngest daughter was 9 years old. Now she's 15, and was very, very hot outside in the middle of the summer. And she said to me, "I'm gonna sell lemonade." And I thought it was cute because I saw that in the movies coming from Argentina, and I saw that, you know, you need braces and lemonade and you are in America. And it's a stereotype, but it's basically true. So I said, "It's very cute. What are you going to do with the money?" And she said, "I'm going to collect the money. I'm going to send it to a Save That Food organization." And I said, "What's that?" So she explained to me. So we went online. She explained to me what is a Save That Food. Well, my daughter for the last 6 years have been working in Save That Food, like many of us have not been working in any other projects in our lives. And she had collected a lot of money as one step at a time, making documentaries, interviewing people, bringing people to different schools, passing this type of ball everywhere. And she had donated a lot of her resources to the Save That Food organization, which I'm extremely proud of that, because it's this global sense of it's one step at a time, and I'm not only for myself, I'm also for others. And I thought absolutely a beautiful example. So inspired in her example, person of our congregation, a member of our congregation came to us. He just joined our congregation. This is in 2005, and he said to me, "I want to do something big." And I said, "You want to do something big? I'm with you. Let's do it." We adopted 3 orphanages in Honduras. How these orphanages came? There were kids that were on the street, and they were smelling glue in order to get lost because of their abuse. And because they were selling their bodies to people who don't have any type of compassion among children. And we took, literally, we went to the streets in Honduras where there is malaria because of the stagnant water that is there, and the mosquito is going around. We needed a treatment in order to prevent malaria to come into our bodies. And we took big missions from our synagogue year after year. We ended up literally just going through the streets and convincing these children that we are completely drugged by the glue, that they have a better place to be right now. We ended up building 3 orphanages. We told them English is a second language. I taught also Spanish as a first language. We taught them how to farm, how to do an organic farm. They now can eat just from their farms. We built for them laundries and pantries. And we also created a micro-managed type of organization in which they do like Beats for Life, but in Honduras. And now they have paid, now they're in college, these kids. They have paid for their studies. And one kid is teaching the other kid. We started that in 2006, actually, was the first one. And now it's called a Pro Niño organization, which is for the children organization that is now is a global organization, has been involved in many countries, in Holland, of course in Honduras, and in different countries in Europe, we have volunteers all over the places. They come to their children, and now children are teaching other children. So of course we have some donations from Sears, and some donations from Coca-Cola, and some donations from different farmer markets, and we went out and we explained that if you have a cause, you have a purpose in life, you have a way of demonstrating that you can make a difference, that MedShare is making a huge difference of saving lives and lives and lives. We are talking about 1.238 million people that are infected with malaria every year. This is a statistic of 2010 and a statistic of 2011. We are talking about 2.23% of death global in the entire world is from malaria. We can prevent this. So it's it should be such an easy cause to go and show statistics and to say, give me the nets that are working. Give me the ones that have not the DDT, but the ones that are really working, that allow these people to live, pregnant women and children are the most affected ones. We can make a difference step by step, one child at a time, one pregnant woman at a time, one person at a time, and we can do it. But it really depends on us. And when we go to these big organizations, they want to be part of that. Because Pepsi doesn't like that Coca-Cola is there. And so, well, so let's sell Coca-Cola to Sierra Leone, and let's send Pepsi to Nigeria, or the opposite, whatever you like. But they like that. They want to be partners on that, because for them it's for profit. Exactly, for them it's for profit, and we can share it with everybody else. So it's the cause, the purpose, the goal that we have, and that task has to be made by ourselves.
Thank you.
Well, I certainly agree with concur again. I think that too often times I want to try and take two steps back, because I think the motivation for companies and corporations to make money at the expense of human beings is again because of this mentality of conquer and control and coerce. And until we get to that point where we are able to see each and every human being as another spiritual soul on their way back to the Creator, we will always, people will lack compassion and lack the motivation really to help each other. And I think as we grow as human beings, that's what we're supposed to be doing, really helping each other. You wanted to know about an example. When I heard about the girls of Afghanistan who are braving the odds, trying to go to school, trying to learn, having acid thrown at them, or even being killed or beaten, and I think about all the opportunities we have here. I was compelled to collect books to send to Afghanistan for girls' schools. And it's a small thing, but I think, again, trying to dispel ignorance and trying to dispel fear, it is something that we can do. So moving from a place where we're motivated only by financial profit to a place where we're motivated by compassion and seeing people living lives of dignity. That's the space that we have to really inculcate in ourselves and everyone we know.
Thank you.